Now we review Amy Winehouse Back to Black, the movie. It is a movie. 2024. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is Random Street Theater. I have just seen Back to Black, which is the Amy Winehouse feature. And I don't know much about Amy Winehouse to begin with. I was never a big fan of hers. I'm sure I've heard her music, but no one's ever pointed it out to me. So I went into this, with it being a complete mystery. Now, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you'd be so kind as comment, like, and subscribe, you're doing your part for a better world. Now, this is a biopic of the singer Amy Winehouse. It starts, I believe, around or before the publishing of her first album, and ends with her unfortunate passing after the production of her last album. So, she joins the 27 Club, which is a group of artists who have died at the tender age of 27. And so, naturally, this is a real bummer of a film. But from what I understand, the more you know about Amy Winehouse and the more you like her as a artist, the more you will hate this movie. I have seen a couple of reviews of this movie, and they're by people who apparently know Amy or know of her work and know of the dark story of her life, and they absolutely hate this movie. Me, I thought it just kind of laid there. It didn't show any of the main character's motivation for doing what she did. It didn't really show a downward spiral or a path of injury. It's one of those things. It's like if you look at the movie, I believe it was Goodfellas. The main character does drugs, okay, and he sells drugs, and as the movie progresses, you see a physiological change in him based on the level of his addiction. All right. In this movie, Amy Winehouse pretty much just looked perfect the whole time. And, it's like you're going, if you didn't know the story, because a lot of stuff is left out, you're just lost. It doesn't look like somebody who's dying of alcoholism. You don't even see a lot of drinking. And whereas there are scenes where drinking is depicted and there are scenes where injury from drinking is depicted, the impact of these scenes are completely lost on a failed character design. Now, the actress playing Winehouse, she really looks like Winehouse. I mean, had I not known that Amy Winehouse had passed away, I would have think they had gotten her for this role, because she is spot on the entire time. And there's a lot of depictions of her fashion sense. And, they got how she dressed absolutely perfectly. But you have to understand something about that, is that when we walk out on the street, particularly women use this thing called makeup. And, they're always done up. And that's putting up a false face. If you walk out on the street and you look the same, it's like me for this video. I had to comb my hair. All right? If you saw me before this video, I've done a few videos where my hair is just wild and it thinks on its own. What you have there is the real me. If you were doing a documentary on me, you kind of have to show me with my hair all messed up, because that's who I am. Right? It's not the person I come in and present here. The person I present here is, although probably pretty close to the real thing, a fictionalization of myself. All right? I don't always talk this way. I don't always move this way. I'm doing this thing with my hands because doing this thing with my hands is more expressive and more interesting. And that's part of me. If you want to make a documentary about that, you need to peel that back. And you need to show what's beneath. And this did that very, very poorly. It showed almost nothing of what was beneath. and it just kind of depicted Amy Winehouse as, well, a Jewish princess. And I have to say that quite literally, because there are a number of scenes where they really press the point that she's Jewish. And, I mean, I don't look Jewish because most people have a stereotypical idea of what we look like, and this doesn't fit it. Most of the Jews who looked like me died in World War II. Okay? So you would look at me and you would not think of a Jew. You look at Amy Winehouse, she very much does look like a Jew, although her hair is a bit straight for that. So, yeah, I mean, you get that. But in the beginning of the movie, they really press the point that she's Jewish. They press the point that her family wanted her to marry another Jew. And then very close to the end of the movie, there's a reminder where she's wearing the Star of David. And that's fine because it's accurate. But also, when we talk about things, people don't just die of alcohol poisoning. There has to be a reason. These things have to build on themselves. It's a hard path. And there's no depiction of that path being hard. Other than Amy getting more and more tattoos, which is stereotypically un-Jewish, you have to really ask yourself the question, why is she crying so much? What's so bad in her life that this is happening? And this movie doesn't answer that question. It just depicts her as having, kind of a gay old time and being selfish, which is kind of the problem there. And I mean, yes, there is the resistance to her husband's drug abuse, which apparently is part of the movie. But, a lot of people have criticized that, and I'm not sure why, of it being more of her own intentions, but it doesn't really even depict her using drugs. I don't get that. I mean, there was a scene where they wanted her to go to rehab for alcoholism, and, the postmortem says she was clean of all illegal substances, so the drug conversation regarding this movie actually confuses me because I don't understand it. I do know that, like, her husband, who I think she divorced from, was something of a dick. At least in the movie, he's a real dick. He's very selfish, and he has a problem with drugs. And, that's just his personality. And apparently there's more to it than that. There's always going to be a difficulty when you try to take a period in a person's life and squash it down into a movie. It's always going to be hard. But really, this is a movie that simply sits there. It does not bring you into the character. If you didn't walk into this knowing who these people were, you're just not going to know who they are. They're not going to have an impact on you. And those things really detract from the film. So, Back to Black is the kind of movie that it just belongs in the bottom of your watch list. People say that it's not very accurate, so you're not going to get the education into this person from the film, and then you're not going to enjoy the film either because there's not much to enjoy. It's just very drab and it's very there, and it depicts Amy Winehouse as kind of a one-dimensional character, and we as people are not one-dimensional. We're not two-dimensional. I would even argue that we're not three-dimensional. We're four-dimensional characters. We have layers. We have points in our life. We have times. We have evolutions. We are growing, feeling things who, in different environments, act different ways. And that just was not depicted here. So, yes, low on the watch list. Probably skip this film. It's not going to educate you on Amy Winehouse, and it's not going to hit you in the feels. So, yeah, didn't care for this movie. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I'm Richard. Greetings, humanity. Once again, Fred the Facehugger here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And of course you should do that because, if you look, I am wearing 2 bracelets. These bracelets are from 4Ocean, a company that pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time somebody buys something from them. Well, the owner of this channel has pledged to buy 1 bracelet for every 1,000 subscribers. And it's a very, very dirty ocean that you dirtied. So you should help him out and comment, like, and subscribe. Therefore, having him more subscribers so that he can buy more bracelets and clean that ocean. Or, yeah, I could fulfill my life cycle and hug your face. Don't you want a hug? Come over here. I want to give you a hug. I want to give you a hug right now. Yes, come over here, polluting human. Let me give you a hug.